Hey everyone, and welcome to another Transfer Talk show on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzy, and I'm your host for today's show. It's now Wednesday, the 28th of August. Only 2 more days left until the transfer window is closed. So a lot of last-minute deals are taking place. Let's discuss some of the deals that have been completed, as well as some latest rumors circulating around on social media. So let's begin with the signing of Ilkay Gundogan. Now, the king of clutch moments is back in Man City colours. Some will probably say this is a mid-signing, as it's not the same Gundogan from a couple of years ago. He's older and slower, so he may not have the same impact from his first spell at the club. That may be true to some extent, but I'm looking at it as a glass half full rather than empty. Gundogan, for me, is a serial winner at Man City. He's won it and done it all. His experience and leadership within the squad will be invaluable. He knows who he won't be starting many games, but he'll be ready to be a game changer off the bench. City always had issues with regards to covering Rodri when he's not available. Gundogan can do that role in his way as a deep line playmaker. For me, it's such a smart signing. People think this could be the season that a club like Arsenal could pip City to the title. For me, this only strengthens City in every shape and form. Well played, Pep Guardiola. For me, this is a great signing for City. This was definitely a surprise signing for Fulham. He also makes his return to a former club like Gundogan for the second time. But the big question is, why did Palace sell him? Big mistake in my opinion, as I think Andersen will improve this Fulham team so much. He brings experience into the back line, but not only that, his distribution on the ball is top quality, and that will only help create an opening in the final third. So another way to unlock teams. The transfer fee was around £30 million, which is cheap as chips. So well done to Fulham on this smart signing. Marco Silva is recruiting some interesting players in this window. Now, this deal was confirmed earlier today as Arsenal have officially signed Merino on a 4-year contract deal from Real Sociedad. The transfer fee is reported to be around 32 million, which is another smart bit of business. For me, he'll provide genuine quality in the midfield department. He can comfortably play as a number 6 or as a number 8. For me, he looked really good whenever he made a cameo for Spain in the Euros. So in my opinion, a good signing for the Gunners. This is an interesting rumour as City have been linked with Celtics attacker Kyogo Furuhashi. I'm not sure what to make of it, to be honest. I know he scored an impressive goal against City in pre-season, and that certainly raised his profile with Pep and his coaching staff. He predominantly plays as a striker, so he could be viewed as a replacement for Julian Alvarez, who has just signed for Atletico Madrid, but he can also play on the wing. So he could be an interesting signing to cover the front line. However, I'm not so sure if there's any truth to the rumour, and I think the club will target a different profile in this window, but let's see what happens with this one. Now, this rumour is an interesting one. Something out of FIFA where a possible swap deal could be in place as Sterling is being linked with a move to Red Devils. I'm not sure if many fans are aware of this, but Sterling is actually a boyhood Manchester United fan. So a part of me feels that this move could definitely have some weight, and I think the interest in Sterling would be one where I feel like he actually could make the move to his boyhood club. The person in question of going in the other way is for Chelsea is Jadon Sancho. Now, some people may disagree with this one. I actually think Jadon Sancho to Chelsea could really work. For me, he can make that left wing position his own and cement his team in the lineup. He returns to London, where he's from, and is also closer to friends and family, which some would say could be a distraction, but at the same time, it could help him feel a bit more settled and more comfortable in his new surroundings. Some fans are already saying that no club wins in this situation with regards to the swap deal. I think Chelsea get the slight edge with Sancho, who for me can still hit another level. And whether this still happens or not remains to be seen. But it would be an interesting ending to the transfer window. And it looks like Chelsea have taken the limelight as always. Moxos looks like he's leaving. Saying so. I'm surprised about this one, if I'm being honest. I thought he was a reliable and solid option for Ten Hag in the midfield, a steady Eddie type of player, which is not an insult because you do need those type of players in your squad. So I thought he would have been part of Ten Hag's plans. Apparently, there's rumors circulating that McTominay had a bit of a bust up with a couple of players in the squad, so that could have played a role in his departure. But from McTominay's point of view, what a move it is to go over to Italy and play in Serie A. He'll be playing for a club that has a passionate fan base. He'll be living in Naples, experiencing a new lifestyle. So good for him. I think United might regret selling him. And I know Rio Ferdinand has expressed his displeasure about this news on social media. This deal is almost done as Kepa is currently, well, not at this time of night, but it is he did have a medical earlier today, and it should be officially announced tomorrow if everything has gone to plan. It's a loan deal, from what I know. I don't think there's an obligation to buy, which is a good thing, I think, for both player and the club. Overall, I think it's a good move for the keeper. He gets to play regular football in the Premier League, and he doesn't end up rotting in the Chelsea reserves. But having said that, in my personal opinion, I think he's a much better keeper than Sanchez and Petrovic at Chelsea. So I feel like he maybe should have been given a chance to claim the number one spot. Bournemouth, on the other hand, have been linked with a number of keepers, including Mamadashvili and Ramsdale. But it looks like they've finally found a good goalkeeper that will fit the bill and hopefully help with their Premier League campaign. Speaking of Ramsdale, he's currently being linked with a move to Southampton. It wouldn't be a bad deal for both parties as Southampton will sign a good goalkeeper and Ramsdale will get the opportunity to play first team football as a number one. But I think this move could be a gamble for Ramsdale as Southampton are a newly promoted team as there's nothing to suggest that they will stay up. If it's a loan deal, then I think it will suit all parties involved. I also know that Wolves are looking into signing a new goalkeeper and have shown interest in Ramsdale. So it remains to be seen where he ends up before Friday. Brighton are making moves in this window. I've been so impressed with their recruitment, and I'll discuss this in more detail next week where I do a Premier League final prediction show and I'll cover all the transfer activities for each team and analyze their squads. But this, I can't even say rumor because it's actually officially announced earlier today, and this is an impressive signing for me. Guardiola was in my Euro 2024 team of the season at left back, which is the team of the tournament. And for me, he's such a quality player. He used to be a midfielder in his days at Fenerbahce, but he transitioned into an attacking fullback. He's an aggressive and all-action player, but he's technically sound as well. So for me, one to watch out for. He's going to make noise this season, in my opinion. So looking forward to seeing how he performs. Great signing from the Seagulls. Same old rumor, just another day with regards to Hincapi moving over to Liverpool. This rumor has been circulating for a couple of months now. Will it happen? Honestly speaking, I don't think it will. But if I'm analysing the player, he's exactly what the club needs. An aggressive centre-back who can comfortably play as the left back or left wing back, a multifunctional player who will provide strength and depth in the squad. This is the one I'm hoping Liverpool can get over the line, but I'm not holding my breath until it happens. From one deadwood left back to another deadwood left back, when will Manchester United learn? They've been linked with a move for Ben Chilwell. Okay, deadwood is a bit harsh for both players, but the similarities between Chilwell and Luke Shaw is that they're both very injury-prone players. And honestly, I don't rate them as fullbacks. In fact, I think they're a bit overrated with regards to English fans. But Chelsea seems to be doing a fire sale right now. So you never know. There could be some legs to this rumour as United are weak in that left back position. So let's see what happens in the next couple of days. Now, this is what I call a ground shaker. If Fulham manage to get this deal over the line, as they're strongly being linked with a move for Lyon's Ryan Cherki. Now, I say strongly linked. Let me rephrase. They've actually agreed a deal with Lyon of £18 million for the attacking player, and a medical has been booked. However, the player has not made the move, as there's some speculation that he's not happy about this transfer. Now, no disrespect to Fulham, I kind of get it. He was linked with Real Madrid about 6 months ago, so I think that's the caliber of club that he's after. I personally think he should be playing at the highest level, but there is concerns with regards to his attitude and mentality as a pro. So if you look at it this way, I think a move to the Premier League would really benefit the player, as he'll be playing for a team where he's allowed to express himself and he could really flourish under Marco Silva. Fulham could be that club for him where it could be a springboard to make a name for himself and also help him get a big move in the future. Let's see what happens. For the Premier League, I really hope this deal happens, as I think he's a fantastic talent with natural ability, so skillful on the ball. He'll be an exciting watch for the Premier League fans. It looks like Manchester United are set to get their man as they are edging closer to completing a deal for PSG midfielder Manuel Ugarte. It looks like Manchester United have agreed a 42 million deal, which is a bargain in my opinion, as he went for 52 million pounds last year. He's currently having a medical at the club, and the deal should be announced tonight, or should I say later on this morning or afternoon. What do I make of the move? I think it's a great signing for United. It was only a season ago that us Liverpool fans wanted him at our club, but it depends on how Ten Hag plays Ugarte in the team. If he's played as a number 8, where you're expecting him to be a box-to-box midfielder, nope, it's not going to work. If he's played in a number 6 role where he's a destroyer, I think he will add a bite in that midfield, which is something United have lacked over the years. From all the signings that United have made so far, I think this one could end up being the most important or the most impactful one in this window. Now, as I mentioned about Brighton earlier on, they're making moves, as I mentioned. But they've also made another announcement today, as they have signed highly rated Danish midfielder Matt O'Reilly from Celtic. Now, I haven't seen much of the player, if I'm being brutally honest, so I'm excited to see how O'Reilly performs for Brighton this season and what he brings to the table. But he's been highly sought after. He was linked with moves across Europe, including Napoli in Serie A. So there must be some pedigree there, and he must have some talent. So on paper, another great bit of business from the Seagulls once again. Looks like João Cancelo finally gets his move away from the Etihad as he sets to be heading towards the Middle East, playing for Saudi Pro League Al Hilal. The club agreed a fee of £21.8 million for the fullback. And look, a lot of people have opinions about players moving on to Saudi Arabia, and I don't blame the player for making this move. He's played for City, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich in the last 18 months or so. So for him, playing at a lesser club might not appeal to him. So why not join the league where it's making the most noise with regards to player recruitment. It's also handing out the biggest checks as well. So it will allow him to be set for life, including his family. So all I can say, good luck to him, and I hope he hopefully enjoys his time in Saudi Arabia as a league that's slowly growing. A lot of quality players are moving over there. In years to come, it could be a league that is highly watched all over the world. So let's see what happens with Cancelo at Al Hilal. So breaking news earlier today, and that is Eddie Nketiah is set to make a move to the south of the river by joining Crystal Palace. Now he's penciled in for a medical at the club tomorrow. So if everything goes to plan, Palace will be signing a new striker. Personally, I think it's a great move for the player. Just like Emil Smith-Rowe, he's rotting away being a fringe player at Arsenal. He needed to make this move in order to progress and create a legacy for himself. Plus, he'll be joining a club that is on a rise with a new manager, and they also have an exciting project signing some good young talented players. So it should tick all his boxes. He'll also remain in London, and I think he'll get plenty of game time in order to stake a claim in the starting lineup. The transfer fee is reportedly around 30 million, which is not very high in this market. So overall, a good signing for both club and player. It looked like Ivan Toney was all set to begin a new adventure in the Middle East, but it seems like Chelsea want to block the move and get Toney or shall I say, get Toney to remain in the Premier League. Apparently, Chelsea have shown interest and could be ready to place a bid for the Brentford striker. Even though he would be a great signing for the Blues, I personally think his mind is set up and he's ready to move over to Saudi Arabia. And I believe the deal to Al Ahly, is almost close to completion. So it looks like it could be too little, too late for Chelsea. Now, this news certainly brought a smile to my face as Liverpool are being linked with a move for Italian winger Federico Cheisa. Apparently, the clubs are in advanced talks to complete the move. The fee is rumored to be around 12 million, which is a steal for a quality player like Cheisa. A lot of fans will be quick to point out to say, what about his injury record? Well, since he suffered cruciate ligament damage in 2021/2022 season, he's actually had a few minor injuries since then. So I wouldn't quite call him an injury-prone player. He played 33 times for Juventus last season. And one of the main reasons why he's actually leaving the club, or should I say leaving on the cheap, is because he's in the final year of his contract and he made it very clear to the club before the window opened that he wanted to leave. So I'm all for this signing to happen. He is exactly the type of player I wanted to bring into the team. Someone that can cover right wing for Salah, but also play in different roles across the front line. I really hope this deal can be completed, and I think he will be a wonderful addition to the squad. Now, I saw this bizarre rumor just before I started the stream, and that is Liverpool striker Darwin Núñez being linked with a move to Arsenal. This certainly came out of nowhere, and I'm not too sure in terms of who the credible source is that broke the rumor, but the big question is, would Darwin Núñez be a good signing for Arsenal? Honestly, I think he would. I think he may be suited to their style of play a little bit more to Liverpool's. Remember, Darwin Núñez was actually linked with a move to Arsenal before he signed for Liverpool. So they've always had a strong interest in the player. I also mentioned in my previous show that I don't think Darwin Núñez is suited to slot ball, and it's a position that will need to be addressed in the future. I wasn't expecting it to be this soon. Let's see if there's any genuine interest from Arsenal with regards to this move. But let's get this right. Darwin Núñez will not be cheap. And honestly speaking, I don't really see any truth to the rumor. Right now, I think it's all clickbait activities to try and get as much traffic to certain websites / channels. So yeah, that's just my opinion in regards to that. Just got a few comments here from Nick. He says, big up, Nick. Hope you're well. He says, Gundo is a Man City gun. He really is. Really, really is, to be fair. I think it's such a smart signing. Some people aren't really making a lot of noise about it, but yeah, I feel like it strengthens their title challenge even further. As silly as that sounds, because they would have been favourites anyway. But I just feel like it solidifies it even more. Just got a comment here from Tommy Ball 71. It says, "Nice to meet you, Ozzy. I'm Tommy in the Irish Diddler chat. Big up, Tommy. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for tuning. Appreciate your support." And then Nick says, "Merino and Cheisa are really good additions to Arsenal and Liverpool." Totally agree. Merino is definitely a good one. From what I saw in the Euros, very sort of adaptable in playing as a number 6, but also can play as a number 8. But when he's playing as a number 8, he's very energetic, box to box, has a decent shot on him as well. So I think it's a really good sign. I think he'll be a good cover for Declan Rice, but I can also think they can form a good partnership. They'll definitely add balance to that midfield. I know a lot of people say, "What about Thomas Partey?" Yeah, but you can't really rely on Thomas Partey throughout the season. He's very injury prone. So I feel like Merino and Declan Rice would form a good partnership, even Merino and Thomas Partey as well. So I think it's a really good signing. And the case of one, maybe it's just, PTSD from transfer deals not happening over the last year or two. I'm just waiting for that official announcement. I know we're in advanced talks and it looks like he will be a Liverpool player very soon. I'm just waiting for that first official confirmation. But yes, as it stands, it seems like he's set to become a Liverpool player, and I'm really excited. We already had 5 good attackers on the book, but now with Chiesa coming in, we've got 6 bona fide attackers. I don't feel like there's any team in the Premier League that can match our front line there. And I also think it allows a player like Harvey Elliott to play more centrally, which I feel like really suits his skill set even more. Obviously, if we need him to play in wider areas due to injury or availability, he can be called upon. But I feel like it's a signing where if players aren't off in form, you've got Chiesa on the bench that's ready to take your place in the team. So he's competition for everyone at front line, not just Salah. But obviously for Mohamed Salah, he brings that natural cover because he's predominantly played right wing over his career. That's always a player that that position we've never really addressed. And something I raised in one of my Liverpool transfer talk shows is that I just want a player, or I wanted a player that covers Mohamed Salah. It doesn't need to be a like for like. It doesn't need to be a left-footed right winger. It can be a right-footed right winger. And Chiesa literally fits that bill there. So I'm impressed in terms of the way Liverpool moved with regards to that signing. It's a very FSG signing, very astute signing. Let's hope we can get over the line because we've been burnt quite a few times with these transfer deals. I'm praying and hoping it does actually happen. And Double D, big up Double D as always. He says, "I'd prefer Hancock." Do you know what? Hancock is an impressive player. I do like the look of him. I was very impressed with him in the Euros. And he looks very comfortable at left back as well, considering he's a big guy and he's naturally a centre back. He looks very assured in that left back position. I feel like tactically it could be a really good signing for us. So, look, I wouldn't be against signing Hancock. Just that I haven't really heard much sort of rumours circling with regards to Liverpool. There's a few names out there. I've watched the content creators mention that there's not a lot of big defenders out there. I disagree. I think there's a lot of left-sided centre backs available for Liverpool. I'm not sure why we're just not pursuing them. There's a player that I really like is Hato from Ajax. He is phenomenal for me, and I feel like he'll be the next big thing in years to come. So there's a lot of players. You prefer Hancock, I prefer Hato. Some fans prefer Hincapi, some fans prefer Lukeba. So there's lots of names out there. So hopefully Liverpool can get a deal done. But if I'm being honest, I don't think we'll get a deal done for a centre back. It's hugely depend on Joe Gomez leaving, but at the same time, I feel like if Joe Gomez leaves, do we have enough time to get a new player in? I'm not so sure. So yeah, remains to be seen in terms of what happens there. And your second comment there is O'Reilly injured already in their cup game. Oh, is he really? Oh, that's a shame. I was really looking forward to seeing him play. Hopefully, it's not a serious one. He's been highly regarded by a lot of teams. So, yeah, hopefully it's not a big injury. Hopefully it's just a little knock and we'll be able to see him a lot more this season. But that is all the comments for today, and that is the end of the show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. In terms of upcoming content, we'll be doing a Liverpool transfer talk show tomorrow evening. Time to be confirmed, but we'll be speaking about Cheisa a lot more. Hopefully, it's official news. Hopefully, we'll get some more breaking news with regards to other deals. So yeah, approaching the last couple of days of the window, and yeah, hopefully we will, from a Liverpool point of view, get some good news, but also we'll see what other deals pan out for the rest of the Premier League. So yes, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.